Okay, good. Can you hear me? Okay, so the first slide is just to remind us that Mars has been putting on a really good show, and there's an event coming up that fingers crossed that the skies will be clear so we can enjoy it. It's almost a once in a lifetime event. So next slide, please. Dave. Okay, the sun this month. Days are getting shorter. December we'll have the shortest day. Winter solstice is on the 21st of December. And so sunset quite quite early. Start of the month, it was 4:35 in the afternoon. End of the month, it'll be a little bit later because we passed the solstice. Good news for imagers, dark skies early, so you can image your targets and still go to sleep at a decent time. Next slide. Okay, what does the sun look like today? I took this off space weather this morning, and this sunspot group AR 3153 is just rotated into view, and it's a big sunspot. It's fairly active. It's um, had some C class solar flares, and chances are that it's going to and maybe there's some M class solar flares coming. So if you're into watching the sun with a white light filter, that's one to look at. It's pretty easy to see, either with a solar filter or by a projection method. Um, so keep an eye on that. I don't know if that was the sunspot that it was in the news last week. There was a pretty massive eruption on the far side of the sun. I don't know if this was the sunspot that was responsible for it, but it was the biggest flare in 5 years. So that could be pretty neat if we get a replay of that. Next one, please, Dave. The moon this month. So we're coming up on the full moon, the winter chief moon, and that's on December 8th. And also on December 8th, that is when the moon will occult Mars. But that'll depend on your location. In Halifax, we'll just see it graze or kiss Mars, kiss the moon. Mars will not actually disappear behind um, the moon. Anyone that follows the discussion group, Roy Bishop had a post, and he said out in where he lives in Avonport, he'll get about a minute where Mars is actually behind the moon. So the farther west you go, the more likely that you're going to see the moon actually occult Mars. And of course, at this time, Mars will be at opposition. Geminids will be peaking on the 13th to 14th. I got more of that later. Last quarter on December 16th, and then Ursids, uh, and then the new moon on December 23rd. And this is the Tom Cod spawning moon. Towards the end of the month, we have some nice night views where the moon is close to Saturn and Jupiter. And the end of the month, we'll see the first quarter moon. Next one, please. So this is what we can expect to see um, on December 8th. You'll have to stay up a little bit late. On about 12:14, this is when Mars will just be kind of kissing the moon, and then it'll slide along the moon. Uh, from Halifax, we'll see that for about the next 20 minutes. Um, so should if the skies are clear, should be a remarkable sight and excellent imaging opportunity. Fingers crossed. Uh, Excellent, great. So anyone doing Explore the Universe, again, the best nights are December 6th to the 10th. That's when the shadows along the Terminator will reveal the um, major prominent craters and mare for you to check off on your list. Next slide. Geminids. This is what you could expect to see. I think this is from Sky Safari on the 14th at about 9 o'clock. Gemini will have risen, and the moon won't be up yet. So that's a good time. You'll start to see some Geminids around December 9th at its peak, about 25 meteors per hour, be expected. Long slow tracks, and as I said, the waning gibbous moon won't rise till 10:38. So between 9 and just before 10:30 will be excellent time to look for this particular meteor shower. Next slide. Planets this month. Through November, we didn't see Mercury or Venus. Both those planets are going to make an appearance, and Mercury will have a conjunction with Venus on December 28th to 29th. The maximum eastern elongation of Mercury is on December 21st, the winter solstice. So that's a good opportunity if you want to see Mercury or image Mercury. It'll be at its maximum separation from the sun. Venus is low in the southwest after sunset by mid-December. Mars, of course, you go out at night and you look up, you'll see red Mars glaring at you. It's pretty obvious. It's above the horizon all night long through December. The disk is 17.2 minutes, right? Seconds, and magnitude minus 1.8, so very bright. Jupiter is also prominent in the evening sky. A lot of people have been dialing in if they're imaging, dialing in their scopes on Jupiter, and then waiting for Mars to get high enough to image. On December 1st, Jupiter is close to the moon, and then at the end of the month, it will be close to the moon. Saturn, only visible in the evening sky. Saturn sets fairly early now. Uranus is visible in the evening sky for all of December, and on the 5th, Uranus will be close to the waxing gibbous moon. So, good opportunity to you have binoculars to identify Uranus. And Neptune, visible in the night sky, evening sky for all of December. So we can see all the planets in this month. Next slide, please. This is a nice Christmas present, Christmas Eve. The new moon, thin crescent, Mercury, and Venus will all be visible, forming a nice triangle around 5:10 p.m. So worth having a look at, and if you have a DSLR, take a picture. Nice. Next slide, please. Winter constellations. We don't have to wait now till after midnight to see the winter constellations. They're up in the late evening. Auriga, Gemini, Taurus, Orion, Canis Major, and Canis Minor. So those are your winter constellations for Explore the Universe. Next slide, please. This is a picture Dave Chapman took of the kind of the major winter stars, and they form two asterisms. One is the winter triangle, so Procyon, Sirius, and Betelgeuse forming a triangle. And then you have the winter hexagon, which extends that triangle to Gemini, Pollux and Castor, Capella, Aldebaran in the Hyades, Rigel, and then to Sirius. So six-sided with the Pleiades off to one side. pretty pretty nice to see in a clear, bright winter sky. Next slide, please. Winter stars. Brightest star is Sirius, and followed then by Capella and Rigel, Procyon, all pretty similar in brightness. And then the two stars of Gemini, Castor and Pollux. Castor is quite a bit dimmer than Pollux, but these are stars that are worth learning their locations, because if you're using a go-to telescope and you're aligning it, whether it's a Skywatcher with a SynScan or a Celestron, these stars are the ones are typically used to do your 1, 2, or 3 star alignments. Next slide, please. Winter deep sky objects, a lot of them. The one that I picked out for today's presentation is Kemble's Cascade, a nice binocular object. It was first noted by a Canadian amateur astronomer and looking for, not friar. He was a monk, a Canadian monk, Campbell. And it's this line of blue and orange stars that extends down to a nice open cluster, NGC 1502. And other deep sky objects for the winter are M35, M37, Pleiades, the Hyades, the Orion Nebula, and M47. So mostly open clusters, and of course the showpiece of Orion, the Nebula M42. Next slide, please. Winter double stars. This is a pretty easy one. Theta Tauri consists of two third magnitude stars. One is yellow, that's theta 1, and the other is blue, that's theta 2, just off to the side of Aldebaran. So pretty easy to find. Although it's not shown in this particular picture that I took off Wikipedia, each of those stars themselves is a double. They're fairly close to Earth. In the case of theta 1, it's 152 light years away, and theta 2 is 157 light years. So these stars, this is not an optical double; they're actually linked gravitationally. Next slide, please. You get another shot at Algol, the demon star. On December 15th, it'll be at its dimmest, so it'll be occluded by by its partner on the 727, and then it'll brighten to its maximum at 10:57 that night. So if it's clear, worth having a look at this. Next slide, please. And I believe that's it. Any questions? What? Sure. Yeah, yeah. It's one of my favorite lunar objects to get a picture of. Any questions? Yeah. No questions? Great. Thank you.